of his main base. That's just out of scouting the drone scout area. So just to scare him a little bit.
Now also note, DRG probably a little bit concerned now that he knows he's MVP actually got taken out by MMA. Probably is saying to himself, well, you know, he did do a lot of cheese. What is he going to do against me? Is he going to play that kind of solid bamboo style, or is he going to go for more tricky style? Right now, you know, with the barracks being hidden outsider, the Zerg is probably going to panic, especially after seeing that MVP series.
Yeah, and in fact, I bet you he's going to go ahead and get that pool relatively soon here. Does make 2 drones, 3 drones now after the hatch. He's not scared even a little bit. Finds that barracks,
sees it.
An important part. And he also did see, of course, the gas. So he is going to be getting ready for whatever he thinks is going to come out, whether it is reactored Hellions, which it probably is, or possibly even a Reaver. But probably Hellions, because that's what people do in the GSL.
Yeah, that's the most common build nowadays. Now remember, guys, it's easy for the Zerg to get the 3rd base. A little bit harder for the Terran to get the 3rd base. But every base after that for the Zerg becomes a little bit more difficult because he just isn't really able to expand without being right next to the Terran.
Well, a couple drones being sent down there. We do see it is a reactored Hellion opening. Of course, this build is just so popular, and it's a great, great build for this map. As you see, that natural's very wide open. The ramp is kind of in the front of it. So you're definitely going to need, as a Zerg player, to make a couple spine crawlers, have some speedlings, have some queens. It's just a general annoyance. It's going to be very hard to actually spread any creep, and thus also very hard to take any 3rd base really quickly. So
yeah,
a perfect decision in openings by both players so far. Very textbook.
Looks like DRG is going to get the bare minimum amount of Zerglings because he wants to maximize his drone count as much as possible. 4 is generally enough to deal with almost anything. Now when the Hellions come out, he'll probably have to get a few more. He'll probably have to get a spine crawler. Actually, I know he'll have to get a spine crawler. And that may also end up delaying the creep if the Hellions park outside there.
Yep. Well, Hellions on the way. Probably end up making 4. We do sometimes see more, especially if he has some funny timing planned. Of course, on this map, this is actually a map that has produced more epic Terran vs. Zerg games than most any other maps. We have so many interesting games here. Even though when you look at architecture, you're like, ah, this is a hard map for Zerg. But
I actually thought that is that just our monitor, or is that actually going on? Is that actually reality? Oh my God! All right, I don't know what caused that hiccup there.
That's
all right. Anyways, so
we're gonna turn off the downloads. All right, now Hellions starting to do a little bit of harassment. Haven't really killed anything yet. Good defense so far by DRG. Have a starport going right away.
And I love this build here because going mass Hellion like this, then switching into the starport.
Yeah, and
getting the Banshee.
Definitely. If he does go ahead and make any roaches, that Banshee obviously going to be very effective against the roaches. And if you can damage the queens at all with the Hellions, you know, a lot of times they micro back and forth, take some hits on the queen because Hellions don't really kill queens. But then a Banshee coming in against some damaged queens, absolutely, you can do a lot of damage with that. So a very cool build so far. And don't forget, he also made a Marauder. And that's something that you can really use to deal some additional damage. And here he goes, going to use that Marauder quite a bit. And look, damaging the queen. Notice how he's targeting down that queen. DRG may or may not know why he's doing that.
Yeah, now that's a pretty tough one to tell. It's a pretty hard situation to read, unlike some of these other situations that we've seen here. Saying, wait a minute, is he trying to do too much damage to my queen because he's going to set a Banshee in later?
Yeah, and MMA right now also getting another command center. So he is going tech and harassment and economy all at once. It's well done because he's going to be pretty safe, but we do have roaches on the way now.
And note he's stockpiling the Banshees. He's not sending them out all at once. He wants to have enough so that there's this element of surprise as he comes in.
It's going to be 12 roaches as well as a Baneling nest. Looks like DRG going to go for a very strong aggression. It's almost all in. He definitely has to get a lot of damage done with it. The Banshee going to do a great job hitting roaches, but against that many roaches, I mean, all they have to do is break down just enough to let the lings that are running up there so quickly in to get the Banelings in. This is going to be absolutely hard for MMA to stop.
And the truth of the matter is, with MMA getting that third command center, he may not be prepared.
The Hellions going home right now, but they should be trying to harass these Zerglings. And in fact, he's just going to go up that ramp, and that's the right choice, man. Notice this building wall. Why is he continuing to make the building wall, you ask?
I don't know.
Well, it's because he wants to slow this down. He needs to just slow this down. That's all he needs to do. The Banshee's doing a great job right now, but again, there are so many roaches right here running up.
The wall isn't up.
Oh my God. And he's staying on top of that depot quite a bit so far. A lot of Banelings coming up.
The Banelings going over the depot. Now going
God.
inside into the main. Roaches now destroying so many Marines. It's not clear if MMA is going to take too much damage from this. The Banshees are helpful, but there are so many roaches and so many SCVs now being destroyed.
Yeah, those SCVs just not doing anything against the roaches, just holding them still kind of. And in fact, dropping more and more mules. In goes DRG, trying to target whatever he can with his units, and behind this, making 10 drones, so he wants to get way ahead here.
All right, so what he wants to do is not end the game, but cripple the Terran enough that once the Zerg goes back into standard play, he's going to be 2 behind.
Oh boy, he killed 22 SCVs with that. As you can see in the supply, hugely in the favor of DRG, 38 to 60.
Interesting decision here to get the double evolution chamber. I would have expected something else, you know.
You know, he is so strongly ahead right now, economically speaking, but he's got to be careful. You saw, you know, there's some Banshees out there. He has to still play carefully. He can't take a third base right now because the 3 Banshees will absolutely destroy it. So I kind of like going for a lot of upgrades. Uh-oh. Cloak on the Banshees. And nice transfusion there. And
no, he can actually just get the Spire.
This is...
And he will.
Bad news right now for DRG. These cloaked Banshees making the comeback possible right now. So many spores going down all over the place. And in fact, he's going after spores.
The thing is, Banshees do damage so quickly that I don't even actually know if these spores are going to be of much use. Not to mention, he can actually just maneuver to different locations, even if the spores do get up.
Well, these Banshees going to go in the main base right now, and all they have to do is kill off a few of these spores before they hatch, and they can do things like target drones, target expansions, and whatnot. Nice cloak there, pulling it away from that queen before it dies. And
there comes a spore crawler over here to the left, but he gets the queen.
Oh,
now getting more drones. So he could even target down a hatchery, theoretically. Talk about turning this game around with so many workers being killed here now for DRG, man, despite him knowing that this was coming.
The cloak completely catching him off guard, though. This is very bad for DRG. As we see, his supply has now plummeted. After getting way ahead, he had no detection ready for these Banshees, and they've already killed 4 queens. The 5th one coming very close to dying.
And he's sending Marines now as well.
Oh, God.
Marines with combat shields moving out. Note he backs up over here. He may want to just have the Banshees target down the spine crawler. With the spine crawler gone, the Marines can then get inside the front.
Oh, this is so bad for DRG. Just a spine crawler sitting there, and they will take it down oh so easily. That is a lot of Marines, losing only 2 of their number. And what is DRG to do now? Pretty much nothing.
I think it's actually maybe the end. GG.
Wow.